Hi, I'm John Donohoe. Welcome to this introduction to dowsing. I'll be showing you different pendulums and how to get started with using a pendulum, how to determine your yes and no, because if you can find out your yes and no answer, you can answer a multitude of questions. Now, if you intend to dowse on a regular basis or use it as part of your work, it's best to select a pendulum best suited to your particular requirements. We have a range of pendulums here. As you can see, there are crystal pendulums and some pendulums So once you've made up a chart, you can basically get a biro or a marker and you can make up a very simple chart. You can simply make a circle, divide it like that. You can say, right, that's one movement that your pendulum might make, over and back, or it might go forward and back towards you, or it might go right around, either clockwise or anti-clockwise. So before you start using your pendulum, I would always recommend that you breathe on the pendulum. Particularly if somebody else has been using the pendulum or you're buying it for the first time, or you might have lent it to somebody for a moment and they've handled the pendulum. It's always a good habit to get into to surround the pendulum with your own breath and help clear it of any other energies that may be attached. It helps to clear the residue from the pendulum, particularly if someone else has been handling it. Incidentally, it's advisable not to allow other people to use or handle your pendulum at all. Once you select a pendulum and you buy a pendulum for yourself, it's recommended that it becomes your personal property and you treat it as such. The initial aim when using a pendulum is to establish a definite yes or no response to questions. With simple yes or no answers, you can gain an incredible amount of information. You may need to ask the question very, very precisely, because if you're asking a question that may have a number of different answers, you may not get a definite yes or a definite no from your pendulum. As I said, the pendulum, when you start and you're asking for a yes response, you may get a movement like this. You may get a forward and back movement. Or you may get an over and back movement. I'm forcing the pendulum to create these movements just at the moment for demonstration purposes. That's an over and back. That may be your yes. We're not sure yet. Or you may get a clockwise motion, completely clockwise, round and round, round and round for your yes. Or some people, it's an anti-clockwise movement for them. So they're the four movements you're likely to get. If you don't get any movement at all from it, or it's kind of hedging what it's deciding to do, you may not be asking the question clearly enough. So you may need to start at the beginning again, and you may need to do your breathing exercises and ground yourself and calm down before you begin. So now, in order for me to get my yes, a great way to do this is to start by asking a question which you definitely know the answer to. So my name is John, and I'm going to check to see what my yes will be, because I know it should be yes when I ask the question, is my name John? And straight away, for me, I start getting a clockwise movement. That is always yes for me. So you ask, is your name whatever your first name is, and start seeing which movement you're getting. Are you getting a clockwise movement? Do you get an anti-clockwise movement? Do you get a forward and back movement? Or do you get an over and back movement? So you can get your pendulum, hold it like this, and just ask about your first name. So again, I'll ask, is my name John? Straight away it's starting to move in a clockwise motion. Now if I want to see more definitely, I'll say, show me stronger. Show me stronger. Is my name John? Show me stronger. Show me stronger. Show me stronger. And you can see the pendulum is rotating with an even bigger diameter right now. So that's my definite yes. Forever, if I ask a question and I'm getting that movement clockwise, that means the answer is yes. So that's my yes. Now I'm going to ask for a no answer. And I know I'm definitely not Elvis. So I'm going to ask, is my name Elvis? And straight away, for me, I'm getting an anti-clockwise movement. Show me stronger. Is my name Elvis? That's my no. Show me stronger. Is my name Elvis? No. There is my no. So for you, when you start doing this, you need to decide what's your yes and what's your no. You need a definite movement for a yes, either forward or back, over and back, clockwise or anti-clockwise. And when you can determine what your yes is and what your no is, now you're in the position to start asking all kinds of questions to try and determine the answer to what question you're asking. So once you have your yes and your no, stick with that. That becomes your yes and no forever. Okay, so we'll determine that first. So I'm going to ask about where my keys are at this moment in time. And I know where they are because I've put them there at this moment in time. So, for instance, are my car keys somewhere outside my house? And immediately I'm getting a no. So I'm assuming that in that case, they may be inside my house. So my next question, just to confirm this, are my car keys someplace inside my house? And straight away I'm getting a yes. So now I've narrowed it down that my car keys are inside my house. So you need to ask yes, no questions. You can't say, tell me where my car keys are. So think in terms of your yes, no answers and how that can narrow down where it's likely to be. So my next question is, are my car keys on the first floor inside my house? I'm getting a no. Now I ask, are my car keys on the ground floor inside my house? I'm getting a yes. So now I'm narrowing it down. It's inside my house and it's on the ground floor. Are my car keys in the sitting room inside my house? I'm getting a no. Straight away I can see a small circle forming here and I know that's a no. So I ask, are my car keys in the kitchen inside my house? I'm getting a yes. Are my car keys on the dining room table in the kitchen? Yes. So this happened earlier and I went to the dining room table and there the keys were with a towel sitting over the keys. I had looked into the sitting room I'd looked into the kitchen rather, and looked at the table, didn't see the keys, thought I had them outside. They weren't there, they weren't in the car. The car was opened, couldn't find the car keys. But after dowsing for less than 2 minutes, I narrowed down where the keys were, and there they were, underneath a towel on the table. So this is just an example of what you can do. You can search for something that's missing. You can search for a missing object. For instance, you could be looking for your passport, and you can ask questions. Okay, I can't find my passport. Is my passport in the house? Yes. Is it upstairs? No. Is it downstairs? Yes. Is it in the sitting room? No. Is it in a bedroom? No. Is it in a hallway? No. Is it in the dining room? Whatever. Ask the question. It could be sitting in beside something on a bookshelf. So this is one way of using your pendulum to try and find something that's missing. Very, very interesting way of finding something that's missing. The more you practice with the pendulum, the more accurate you will become. So it's important in the beginning to ask easy questions. Ask questions you know the answer to. Place something somewhere in the house and then start asking questions. Well, the more you practice with the pendulum, the better you will become. And one way to practice with the pendulum is to ask a question where you're able to confirm if you've got the right answer to it. Have somebody else take some object belonging to you and hide it someplace in your house or office or workplace. And then get your pendulum and start asking yes and no questions about where this particular object is likely to be. And after a while you're using the pendulum, you'll begin to notice that you're getting used to the movement of the pendulum. You'll begin to get used to, it's like you almost know what it's going to do before it starts moving. It's like you almost know it's going to do a yes. It's going to show me a yes. And after a while you can follow your own feelings on what it's going to do. But the more practice that you use with the pendulum, the more you practice, the better you will become. There are lots of links which we recommend that you look in the description with this video. There you'll find interesting links on map dowsing, detecting geopathic stress, and using dowsing for health-related issues, and many more uses for using a pendulum. Thank you for watching. Please also check out our healing training courses by visiting healingcoursesonline.com.